Yo, what is good YouTube? Tempo TCG here, back on my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be covering over one of my favorite decks from the last format that I kind of thought was going to be dead this format, but turns out to still be pretty good, and that is Gardevoir EX. Now, the deck has changed a lot from what we've seen in past formats. However, it kind of still is played the same, where you're just kind of accelerating a lot of energies, doing a lot of damage, taking big knockouts, and trying to prize trade effectively. So let's go over the list quick. So we're going to start off with 3 of the 70 HP Teleportation Bolt Ralts, and then 1 of the Memory Skip Ralts. I think this is just ideal as you're kind of just keeping 70 HP so you can't get stabilized nearly as easily, but Memory Skip can be good against certain decks. Now, we did lose Mirage Step, so we are going up to 4 of the Refinement Kirlias. I think this is really okay. Some decks were even doing this pre-rotation. I think that was bad. However, having 4 Refinement Kirlia just means we are drawing a lot, and it just kind of brings a little bit of consistency towards it. We obviously still want Mirage Step, but it's gone, so we got to go with what we have. Now, we do play 2 Gardevoir EX, same as it used to be. Gardevoir has the ability Psychic Embrace, which pretty much just lets us accelerate psychic energies from our discard pile while dealing damage counters to ourselves. Now, a new inclusion to this deck is the Gallade, which has the Buddy Catch ability, which once during our turn, you may search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Now, this card can be extremely good, as it just can help us find those late game Ionos, late game boss, whatever we might need. Now, one of the main attackers of this deck is this Drifloon here, which has Balloon Blast, which does 30 damage for each damage counter on Drifloon. Now, Drifloon only has 70 HP, so realistically, we'd only be able to get 60 damage on it, which would only be swinging for 180, which is a good amount out of a 1-prizer. However, we would like to go higher, so we do have cards that can bring that HP up, cards that are like Hero's Cape, Luxurious Cape, or Bravery Charm, that just allow Drifloon to have a lot more HP. Now, moving on, we do have Manaphy and Jirachi still, as we are a lot of small HP Pokemon that we don't want to get sniped, we don't want to be destroyed by Sableye. Another new inclusion is Wyrdeer V, which has Frontier Road, which states once during your turn when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may move any amount of energy from your other Pokemon to it. Wyrdeer can be a really solid late game closer, as let's say we've got 7 energies in play and we go Frontier Road, we can accelerate all 7 of those energies right to Wyrdeer V and just have him start swinging for pretty high numbers. Now, we also still have Radiant Greninja, which just we're using for concealed cards, get our energies in the discard, help us draw. And then lastly, we do have Screamtail. Now, Screamtail has Roaring Scream, which does 20 damage to one of our opponent's bench Pokemon for each damage counter on Screamtail. Once again, we can boost Screamtail's HP with Hero's Cape, Luxurious Cape, and Bravery Charm. Going on to the trainers, it kind of stays pretty similar to the way that the deck was looking before with 4 Iono, a boss. However, we now play 4 Arven, which I think is really good, as Arven lets us search out an item for Earthen Vessel, or for Nest Ball, or Buddy Puffin, or Super Rod, or Counter Catcher, and it also lets us search out a tool like our TM Evolution, our Hero's Cape, our Luxurious Cape, or our Bravery Charm. I actually think this can be really, really good, and can definitely help us get a lot more consistent in this game. Now, we do have a 1 boss and 1 Professor Turo. Turo is really good at just taking off a 2-prized liability like a Gardevoir EX. Let's say we've got all our energies attached and we're like, well, if our opponent has boss, they win because they take 2 prizes. We can Turo up our Gardevoir EX and just swing with whatever we need and not leave a 2-prize liability on our board. We did lose VIP Pass, but we did get Buddy Puffin, which is a much better card in this deck, as it lets us search our deck for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them onto our bench. This means that we can use it any turn, which overall, if we don't get it turn 1, we can still get all our Ralts' turn 2. Now, besides that, the deck runs a Hisuian Heavy Ball, 1 Rare Candy, a Pal Pad, and a Town Store. All of that, you'd kind of come to expect. We're very tool heavy, so Town Store is needed. Pal Pad, we're only playing 1 boss, 1 Turo, and we run a Refinement engine, so Pal Pad can be really solid as well. We do have 2 Super Rod here, and 3 Ultra Ball. These cards are kind of just staples of every deck. Lastly, we do have just 8 basic psychic energies. I think the deck list is super solid, so let's jump into some games. Alrighty, looks like we're going to be calling the coin flip. We're pretty okay going first or second in this matchup, as going second allows us to utilize TM Evolution or Arven, but going first means we can evolve first. So for the sake of this video, let's go first. There are a lot of decks in the format that want to go second, so I feel like we're probably going to be going first a lot more of the time. So here we did actually get a pretty okay hand here. We do have a Ralts, a Buddy Puffin, Arven, Hisuian Heavy Ball, and TM Evo. Now we do have both TM Evos in our hand right now. It looks like we're playing against Turbo hands, which is actually quite a bad matchup for us, but hopefully we can get it going and win this game. We do have just one Psychic Energy in our hand here, so it could be a little bit of a sticky game, but I guess we'll see what we can make happen. We do get our one mulligan here, but that's just another Psychic Energy. It in fact is Turbo hands here with Iron Crown. I think we're just going to start off with Hisuian Heavy Ball. Check our prizes here. We've got Gallade prize, 2 Psychics, one of our Kirlia's prize, Ultra Ball, and an Iono. Gallade's kind of tough to prize here, but you know what? Sometimes that just happens. We're going to hit our Buddy Puff in here, and we're just going to grab 2 Ralts. This deck probably isn't going to be swinging us to our bench, so we're pretty okay to not have Manaphy or Jirachi in play here. And we're definitely not using TM Evo more than once, so we're going to Earth and Vessel away this TM Evo and grab 2 Psychic Energies. We could have discarded a Psychic Energy here, but I'm hoping that they don't play Iono or anything, and they see, oh, okay, well, they discarded TM Evo. They're kind of dumb. And hopefully next turn we just don't need TM Evo in this game. Hoping we can get an Ultra Ball off this Arven. Let's see what they can make happen, though, so we can plan accordingly into what our game plan is going to be. They're going to bench a Miraidon here. Miraidon is now one-shotting this Ralts, so that is a little bit unfortunate. We probably could have attached to Retreat just to prevent that Miraidon one-shotting our Ralts. However, I do believe they're probably getting more than 1 crown anyways, so I don't actually know how much it matters here. They're not really doing too much at this current moment. They attach a Lightning Energy. Let's see if they have a way to retreat, though, and use that Peak Acceleration attack, because if not, we actually aren't looking too horrible here. Next time, we're going to get our TM Evo play. They're going to get the Professor's Research, double Arven, double Heavy Baton. It's kind of a brutal research there, but you know what? We like to see stuff like that. It means they're not going to be able to link these Iron Hands nearly as easily, which is perfectly fine with me. Now here they've got the Iron Hands on the bench. They have their Techno Radar, so let's see what card they discard there. Counter Catcher. They're going to be able to get 2 more featured Pokemon, which are likely to just be Iron Crown EXs or another Iron Hands potentially. However, we will have to wait and see what they grab. It's going to be an Iron Hands and an Iron Crown, kind of like I guessed it would have been. They're going to bench that other Hands, bench that other Crown. Let's see if they've got any way to power up this Hands or to switch into Peak Acceleration. They do not, so we're actually looking fairly okay here. I think we're just going to go attached to our active Ralts. We're going to Arven here. Arven can allow us to grab Ultra Ball and also a Hero's Cape or a Bravery Charm or a Buddy Puffin. I actually think Hero's Cape could be good because it kind of stops this Ralts here from getting amped, but I don't actually know how useful it's going to be because we are really trying to go in with TM Evolution here. So I think here we are probably just going to go in and grab this Hero's Cape. We might be able to just hold it here. I'm going to attach the TM Evolution. We're going to Ultra Ball away these 2 here. And then we're going to grab our Kirlia. Where's Kirlia? Here's our Kirlia. We could also grab our Rad Ninja and just leave this Ralts here to die because it probably is going to anyways. But we are going to be able to go in with Super Rod next turn. So I'm not really upset about losing this Kirlia coming up. I guess we'll go into Rad Ninja here. It doesn't actually matter too much here. We'll go in with Rad Ninja. Rad Ninja just allows us to use it for more turns here. We're going to hit that concealed cards. Not into too much. We can go for Buddy Puffin, though. Grab another Ralts, grab another Drifloon. Well, not another Drifloon. Grab our first Drifloon. And then we're just going to go in with our TM Evolution here. TM Evolution, then we're going to evolve 2 of our benched Pokemon into Kirlias for the 1 and Kirlia for the next. And it's a little bit of a slower deck. It might struggle a little bit with this Iron Hands here, but I do think we are okay. Let's see what our opponent can get cooking here. We do know they don't have a switch, so they could get stuck in this Iron Crown for 1 more turn, which would be more than fine for me. Here we can refinement away this Jirachi, see what else we get in aggressive here, we kind of have to just start off by Ionoing. Hopefully we can go into a way to get a Gardevoir EX into play, or another Kirlia into play. We don't have anything we really want to Super Rod yet. So as much as it sucks here, we could just sit and wait and hope our opponent has nothing in their hand. We could have memory skip for 10 damage, but that 10 damage actually probably could have been pretty good here because it means that we can swim with Drifloon easier. So memory skip probably was the play, but it is what it is. They're going to bench another Iron Crown here. Maybe they're going to pass again. They're going to play Arven here. Arven was likely their top deck. If they do have a switch card, that would be semi-unfortunate for us because Peak Acceleration would kill this Ralts. However, we do have two Kirlias, our Red Ninja set up, the Ralts, and a Drifloon. I do believe that if this, if this Ralts dies, we are just going to go into our Kirlia and pray we find that Gardevoir EX. They do have the Future Booster Capsule. I was kind of expecting them to attach it to the active crown to retreat. They're just going to attach an energy there. They're going to go ahead and Electric Generator. This extra 20 damage could be pretty big. I actually didn't really see what they grabbed off the Arven. I was kind of just looking at our side of the board. They whiffed the generator, unfortunately for them. Oh, no, I guess we just didn't get to see the two energies go on. That's a little bit odd, but you know what? Sometimes that just happens with TCG Live. Gotta love this app. Here, we can get rid of this Buddy Puffin again. Let's see what we can go into here. We do get Psychic Energy Nest Ball. We're going to conceal cards away this Psychic Energy. We know both Gardevoir EX are in there, so let's try to find them. We're going to go Earthen Vessel away this Nest Ball here. We've got no more energies in our deck. Our deck is looking pretty thin, actually, so I'd kind of be a little bit upset if we ended up not hitting this Gardevoir EX. We do have our Refinement still. I think our best bet may be to just go and discard Luxurious Cape. I'm not sure how much we are going to need it in this game, and giving up that extra prize to Iron Hands sucks really bad. We do have Rare Candy Evolve into the active to put 2 damage counters on us, but we are not able to swing this Iron Crown, so maybe we go into Drifloon here, and then we can hopefully get another way to revenge kill this Iron Hands when it inevitably comes up into play. Now, our opponent did not get the retreat. I'm not sure if they're going to have it next turn. Future Booster on Iron Hands, they could have, if they had the retreat, I feel like they would have done it just to swing for the one prize, because that does make a good amount of sense to me. We can Psychic Embrace to ourselves, put 20 damage on us, but it also just allows us to retreat into this Drifloon here, and then swing this Iron Crown with this Hero's Cape. We're just going to go retreat, and then we are going to go into Drifloon here. We can go Hero's Cape on, and then this is better than the Luxurious Cape was, because it means that Drifloon now is not going to give up 3 prize cards to this Ampy very much, which would honestly be a tragedy. So we're going to go 1. We're going to go 2. I wish this animation could be a little bit faster. TCG Live, if you're watching this, please make your animation faster. In order to do this, I actually don't think we're going to have enough energy because we've only got 6, so we're only swinging for, right now we're only swinging for, I don't even know, 180, I think, right? Because we're going to have, it's 30 damage per damage counter, so we're swinging for 300 right now, so I guess we're definitely swinging for enough. I didn't even need to attach that many. 8 would have been fine. But here we can go Balloon Blast for the knockout on this Iron Crown. I'm very used to dealing in multiples of 20 here. My mind was set on multiples of 20 because of Iron Crown's ability. And I play a lot of decks like United Ways with the multiples of 20. So just the 30 damage for each damage counter was kind of odd for me. I know Gardevoir is always in multiples of 30, so I don't know why I was thinking that. I was also kind of thinking about Scream Tail, which is 20 damage for each damage counter instead of 30. Balloon Blast is a pretty good attack here. Let's see if they have the other energy to amp. If they cannot amp us here, we're looking like we're in a pretty good spot. There's the Miraidon coming into play. Miraidon's really not that big of a factor coming into this matchup here. We're more scared of these Iron Hands, them being able to link them. They do have the Electric Generator. They've only got 2 cards in hand, so I kind of don't believe they're going to have the attach to go for the amping very much, which is more than okay for me, because being amped just kind of throws us hard on the prize trade, especially if we can go up and swing for a knockout here and have 4 damage, or 4 prizes to 1 taken. I do think this game might be ours. They do have Apposaurus they really want to swing for. They do have the Ampy very much. Here's the future booster coming into play. The Ampy very much might hurt. They're going to go for electric generator. They're going to get 2 energies there. That is perfectly fine for us. They are linking up their Iron Hands here, so it is definitely scary for us here. So we may be best to try and swing with something that maybe isn't going to be able to be Ampy very much. So maybe Wyrdeer is the play here, because Wyrdeer won't be taking the damage counters on it the way that these other Pokemon would, so Ampy very much isn't going to be an option on this Wyrdeer. I think that actually could be a really, really good idea for us here, and then if we can go into next turn going up as a Scream Tail, I think we can be pretty okay here. Here I think I'm going to conceal the cards first. Discard that energy card, draw our 2 cards, see what we can get into. We do have Arven, so we could go for the Scream Tail play, and then just go Wyrdeer next turn. I think that actually could be pretty good. We have the Turo for the Wyrdeer play right now, though. We could go Wyrdeer now, and then Scream Tail after. Wyrdeer does prevent them from going for the Ampy very much play, unless they have Boss's Orders in hand. I don't know how many Boss's Orders they play. Boss's Orders or Counter Catcher will both do it. Maybe Scream Tail here is just the play to snipe the active though, so I think actually that is the play we're going to go for. We're going to Scream Tail, we're going to go in with Arven, we're going to grab this Bravery Charm and this Counter Catcher. I guess that works pretty well for us here. Scream Tail at 140, 120 does 240, so we're going to go Bravery Charm here. We're going to go, I don't really think there's anything we really need to dig too much for here, so we're just going to start our Psychic Embrace. We're going to put 2 on this Kirlia here, 1 and 2. And then next turn, hopefully they don't have an Iono to absolutely decimate our board state. But even if they do, we've got enough draw power that I think we're going to be okay. We do have Buddy Catch Gallade, which is going to allow us to find another Ultra Ball or something. Here's our 6 damage counters for 120. Here is our 8 damage counters for 160. Here's our 10 damage counters for 200. And then we can retreat. Go into Scream Tail again, Psychic Embrace one more time to put it up to 240 damage that we will be doing. There is our damage there. Now we can be done with that, and then we can just Roaring Scream on the active spot here for the knockout on this Iron Hands. 240 damage is overall a really solid number to swing for. I do actually really like the way this Gardevoir deck feels. It's definitely weaker than Gardevoir was pre-rotation. However, I still think it can be really good. I still think it has the potential to win events like regionals. Here they did promote Iron Hands right away, so the chance that they're going to get the amp are quite high. I'm assuming the energy is there. Next turn we will just be winning the game, obviously, because we are going to have the Wyrdeer play. Even if they Iono, I'm assuming we're going to have to find a way out. So here they do have the energy to Ampy very much, and if they just choose the Ampy very much here, we can just say GG to this fella. They are going to go in with Iono here. That's actually perfectly fine for us. We have enough draw power. We are able to draw up to 4 cards here. So we did get Iono and Town Store. Town Store is pretty okay. Like it's just a card to get cards out of our hand. Like we can refinement that away and not have to worry about anything. So that's okay. They're going to Lost Vacuum here to get rid of our Bravery Charm. So that's a little bit tough. But then we can just go into our Gardevoir EX and prevent the Ampy very much. So I think that actually could be a pretty solid play because they're only doing an extra 60, so they're only swinging for 220 right now. So I actually think that was not the best play they could have made. They have got no way to knock out this Gardevoir EX. They could go into Miraidon and swing for 260, but that also isn't knocking us out. So here they're probably like, man, I really wasn't expecting that to happen. Going into Gardevoir EX feels like it's a really solid play for us here. We're going to go Arm Press for 220. Our Gardevoir's now got 240 damage on it. We still have the ability to retreat here, and we do get another Refinement Kirlia, so we are going to be discarding even more cards. Here I'm just going to go Refinement away this Town Store. We are going to go Refinement away this other Manaphy. We do get Boss's Orders and Nest Ball, so Nest Ball is pretty solid here. I'm going to Nest Ball for this Wyrdeer, bench that, and then we are going to go with our last Refinement, discarding one of these Ionos. And hopefully we can get this Professor Turo. We do not get the Turo, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge here, I think. If they have Boss's Orders, they're going to be able to swing Gardevoir here. Wyrdeer, in order to swing Iron Hands, needs 6 energies on it. We've only got 77 in our discard, so some more here. However, if they do have the boss's orders, we are definitely in a little bit of trouble. I'm just going to go here. This puts 5 energy onto Wyrdeer, which allows it to swing for 200. And then we are just going to retreat into this Wyrdeer here. Frontier Road, we're just going to move every energy onto Wyrdeer, get it ready, and unless they can amp you very much for 220 or have the boss's orders, we are looking like it is going to be good for us here. Psyshield Bash is swinging for 200. It's kind of unfortunate. If we had the Turo, we would have the game, but we do not. And we just didn't get any way to get into our buddy catch Gallade, which is okay here. Unless they hit the boss, we do just win this game. So that feels pretty solid, to be honest, because they can even arm press here for 2 prizes, get themselves to 1 prize, and then we just swing with, I guess we'll go into another Kirlia and swing. We only need to swing for 40 damage here, or 30 damage here, so we could even go into a Kirlia, just find the buddy catch Gallade, and then just win the game. They're going to go Future Booster, they are going to retreat, it looks like they're going to Electric Generator first, they get 1 energy. I don't know what their big plan here is. I don't know if he's going to arm, he is going to arm press for the knockout on this Wyrdeer here. That's not the biggest issue for us. Now I think we're just going to go into the Kirlia with 40 damage, just so we can grab our buddy catch Gallade and just swing with for the knockout with that. We're just going to go in with Ultra Ball here, discard those 2, grab the buddy catch Gallade, and we have Swinging Slice, which is going to be just a knockout. We can go Psychic Embrace 3, and then that is just the game. 1, here's energy number 2, and here comes energy number 3. Now this deck tends to struggle a lot with Turbo Iron Hands. If you guys remember, Miraidon was very good into Gardevoir previously, and Iron Hands is normally really good into Gardevoir. They did get a little bit of a slower start, so we were able to swing for the knockout in the game here. But yes, this is how good Gardevoir can still be. You're still able to win games. You're still able to swing really high numbers with cards like Drifloon, with cards like your Screamtail. So guys, let me know what you guys think of Gardevoir EX in our current metagame. And until then, I'll catch you guys later.